Most men have no idea what keeps a woman emotionally connected to a man for life. They think it's money, or power, or maybe looks. But I recently spoke to a woman in her 80s, sharp, spirited, and brutally honest. And what she told me stopped me in my tracks. She didn't sugarcoat it. She didn't hold back. And what she said revealed something that very few men ever hear. This isn't about cheap tricks. This isn't some surface-level dating advice. It's something primal, something almost taboo. And yet, once you hear it, you'll never look at intimacy the same way again. This is the truth most men ignore. The fact that women, real women, the ones who stay, nurture, and devote, aren't looking for perfection. They're craving emotional ownership. And sometimes, the most unexpected acts become the gateway to that. In this video, I'll share the 3 raw truths that elderly woman shared with me. The kind of wisdom you only get after decades of love, pain, and passion. This isn't what you'll hear in school, it's not in the textbooks, but it is what works. Let's begin. 1. Intimacy isn't about sex. It's about surrender. The first thing she said? Most men think sex is about performance. But it's not. It's about vulnerability. I asked her to explain. She smiled and leaned in, eyes sharp. A woman who kneels before her husband, who wants to please him in that way. She's not just being sexual. She's surrendering her pride, her ego. She's saying, "You are mine, and I am yours." Now, listen closely. This isn't about submission in a weak sense. It's the opposite. It's about trust, about giving without fear, about choosing him again and again. But here's the mistake men make. They take it for granted. They treat it like a reward, like it's owed, like it's just something that should happen. And when they do, it dies. Because what makes a woman want to go to that place with you, what makes her feel alive doing it, isn't physical at all. It's emotional. It's how safe you make her feel. It's whether she feels seen when she looks at you. Whether you still look at her like she's the most captivating thing in the room. Whether you protect her without needing to be told. She said, "I did things for my husband not because he asked, but because I wanted to. He made me want to." When a woman goes there with you, it's not just lust. It's love, shaped by desire, sculpted by trust, and sealed by intimacy. Never forget, the moment she trusts you enough to give all of herself, her mouth, her body, her thoughts, is the moment you have her heart for life. Unless you destroy it. Which brings us to truth number 2. 2. A man loses his woman the moment he stops listening. Here's something no one warns you about. A woman doesn't stop loving a man because he cheats. She doesn't even stop loving him because he fails. She stops loving him when he stops being present. The elderly woman looked me straight in the eye and said, "He used to talk to me like I mattered." Then years passed, and I became furniture. Think about that. How many men go through the motions? Nod while scrolling. Mumble, "mm-hmm," while half distracted. Forget the details of her stories, her dreams, her fears. She notices, and it breaks her. Because what women crave most isn't to be right. It's to be heard. That elderly woman told me something haunting. I would have kept loving him if he had just looked at me. Not once a year, not just on birthdays, but really looked. The sad part? Most men don't realize they've lost their woman until it's already over. She'll still cook. She'll still smile. She'll still say, "Good night." But inside, she's gone. And here's the twist. The women who still give themselves to their man, intimately, passionately, fully, after years, they're not doing it because he's perfect. They're doing it because he's present, because he listens, because he sees her, and because of that, she wants to do everything for him, even the things other women wouldn't dare talk about. That's where desire survives. That's where devotion lives. 3. The unspoken bond is created in the smallest moments. Near the end of our conversation, I asked her one last question. What kept the love alive? She paused. Her eyes softened. And then she said something that gave me chills. It wasn't the big things. It was the way he'd place his hand on my back when we crossed the street. The way he'd whisper my name when no one else was around. The way he'd kiss my neck after 20 years, like it was still the first time. And then she laughed. He never asked for it, but I wanted to be his everything. I wanted to do things for him. Things people don't talk about. Things that made him know, without a doubt, that he was mine. Let that sink in. Women don't crave expensive gifts or grand speeches. They crave moments. Tiny, electric, intimate moments that say, I still choose you. That's what creates the space where she wants to please you in every way. Not out of duty, not out of guilt, but out of raw, instinctual love. And if you're the kind of man who gives her those moments, who shows up without needing a reason, who listens without fixing, who touches without taking, she'll give herself to you in a way you've never known. And yes, she'll do that for you too. Not because it's expected, but because she wants to. Because her pleasure is watching you melt. Because she's not just loving you, she's claiming you. The truth is, most men will never hear what you just heard. They'll scroll past it, laugh it off, forget it. But if you've made it this far, you already sense something deeper. You know that relationships aren't built on seduction. They're built on connection. And when you become the man who sees her, who listens to her, who touches her like she's sacred, you won't need to ask for loyalty. You won't need to beg for intimacy. She'll crave it. Because deep down, every woman wants to surrender to a man who makes her feel safe enough to do it. And when she does, there are no limits to the ways she'll show her love, even the ones no one talks about, especially those. Choose to be that man, and she'll choose you, in every possible way, again and again.